movie fans, welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grinding Podcast. I am your host, Ian. This is the show in which we grind on the absolute worst horror and sci-fi movies we can find and make fun of just how bad they are, as well as praise the good cult classics that have been lost throughout time. Now get ready, because we're about to dive real deep inside of Hollywood's dumpster in search of the good, the so bad it's good, and the fucking ugly. Now put on your seatbelt, grab a beer or two, and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind. I'm Ian, and today we're going to do a little cult classic upon the name of motherfucking Shopping Mall. This movie came out in 1986 by director Jim. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Wynorski. Yeah. So this will be a fun episode. Actually, bringing on a special guest from the upcoming in popularity Austin, Texas band. For some reason, I Desert Queen. My bad. That's embarrassing. Well, anyway, but before I bring him in, let me introduce Tony's back. What's up?
Oh, thank God. I was just stuck in the mall for days. Oh my God. Oh, thank you for getting me out. I really appreciate that. I was
we're about to go right back in, man. Oh, nice pun. That was funny.
Chomping. Like a little cheat, a little bit of a cheat, but it's okay.
Let me ask you, was this your first time seeing this movie?
No, I saw this movie I don't know. I want to say when I was like a teenager, but at least in my early 20s. So about a decade ago.
Yeah. Well, same here. That's when I first saw it.
Kind of the perfect age.
What's your overall thought of it, just real quick?
We're gonna get into it, but I love Shopping Mall. I loved it when I saw it, and I watched it again for this, and it holds up. It's great. We'll get into it, but yes, I love this movie. I'm happy to talk about it. All
right, sweet. And another guest. So I've brought it up before. So I have another podcast. I had another podcast which you were on, Movie So Badly Good, Midnight Cult Classics in Camp, which is basically the same thing. But there's another podcast I do called Having a Beer with Ian, and in which that is me and a bunch of other Ians. We just have a beer together and have a beer with Ian right there. And we just discuss Ian-related topics and ideas, but mostly we just get drunk and talk shit. But I got my co-host from that. Ian is here. What's up, Ian?
Hey, how's it going, Ian? How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, man. Thanks for joining. PBR, man. What happened to Modelo's?
It's the holidays, dude. You got to save up for those presents, man. It's all about the children.
Hell yeah. Okay. So this is actually the first time I've had you on. I already pretty much talked about it, but do you want to say anything about what having a beer with Ian is? And
I guess it's on hiatus at the moment because I don't think we've done an episode for maybe a month or so. But if we ever get back to it again, come hang out and see some Ians drinking beer with each other and sharing stories of shared experiences based on a same first name.
Right. Surprisingly, we've had a lot of material in the past about that. Ian Con is coming up.
I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try, but we'll see. We'll try.
Yeah. So, basically, there's a Facebook group called Council of Ians, which is, how much is it? 1,300 of us now.
I think it's at about 14K. 14,000.
Oh shit! Yeah, so we're all gonna meet up, or a lot of us are gonna meet up. We've been planning this for months, about a year now. Ian Con, we're all gonna meet up in Las Vegas and just be nerds, I guess. But anyway, I've got. Thanks for joining. Is this your first time seeing Shopping Mall, Ian? You there? I think we lost him.
Did he freeze? Did the robots get him? I think so.
I guess so. All right. Well, well, I guess we'll figure out eventually. Let me bring on my last guest. So, I don't know if y'all can tell by looking at me, but I really enjoy heavy metal, and specifically stoner metal. And um, I like to go into shows, and because of COVID and whatnot, there haven't been any up until recently. I finally was during summertime. We lost him. Hopefully, we'll be back. During summertime, one of my favorite Texas bands of all time, Mothership, which I'm wearing a shirt right here, was doing a show, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go to that." Lineup was pretty killer. There was Enter the Void, or no, Forming the Void. My bad, and Ian's back. All right. Yeah. So anyway, there was some band. So I went there. It was my first show that I've been back to, and I discovered this other band called High Desert Queen, and that they really impressed me with their stage presence, their songs, and everything. They were pretty badass actually. And so they came out with a new or their first album, really growing really fast in popularity. But yeah, it was really good quality. Like, I recommend it. It's called Secrets of the Black Moon. And y'all are probably wondering, why am I bringing this up for Cult and Trash? And the reason is because, like, what's that? That sounds like Mandy or Hobo with a Shotgun or something. And so then they had an album release party, and it said Movies That Doom costume party. And so the whole band like dressed up as like 80s bad movie action people. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, that's not my alley. So I reached out to them, and I talked to their senior Ryan, and I invited him here, and he said, fuck no, get lost. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually right here. What's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Man, thanks for having me. I tried to say fuck off, but apparently I signed some kind of contract. I'm like legally obligated to be here.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Sooner we can get this over, the better, I guess, right? But no.
I mean,
but no. First of all, I'm glad other Ian is back. I got a little worried there, man. I was like, really, you were frozen, and I was literally like, all we needed to hear was, "Thank you, have a nice day," and you're gone.
Oh, I should have said that. Damn it.
I didn't know what was going on, man. But,
yeah, you know, I thought about taking a trip to the mall and then reconsidered. That's
yeah. I think we all after seeing this movie, we've all reconsidered going to malls.
I mean, I never liked going to the mall in the first place, but
especially now.
I mean, is Shopping Mall the reason why online shopping has become so popular?
I would like to think so.
Yes, it was year 1986. Amazon took over.
I definitely, I don't know when you want to talk about, but I definitely have a point of conversation, because I don't know if you guys have heard about the actual mall robot cops that actually exist.
I would definitely like to get into that.
I don't know when. You want to talk about that now or later?
Yeah, just real quick, Ryan, thanks for joining. I guess awesome album that you got. You're already working on a new one here pretty soon too. So like, y'all are like really like your hat says NASA. I mean, you're really there to rock it.
Yeah. Hey, oh man, I'm liking all the zings on this show already. We gotta get one of those sound effects, like zing.
Yeah,
getting warmed up here.
Exactly. But no, man. But no, I really appreciate that. We're pretty excited. The album came out, of course, because of all kinds of COVID-related delays. It finally came out.
Yeah.
And one of the silver linings in that COVID-related delay is we were sitting on an album for a while, and we got discovered by Ripple Music just by pure luck and chance, and we got signed to that. But we have another record already ready to roll. We're playing in the studio like already again, which is cool.
You're like,
and Go ahead.
Yeah, you're like Black Sabbath, just like coming out with a strong, solid album. Just like all of a sudden, you've got like another one like the same year. I mean,
yeah,
kind of technically.
Why not?
I got to tell you, I've enjoyed the tracks I've heard, but I'm, I can't agree with signing with Ripple Music. I'm more of a fan of Wavy Records.
Oh, okay. Well, luckily, there's definitely we like waves. We're trying to make waves.
A Ripple
we're not quite there
single.
yet. Yeah,
I know.
We're just a Ripple. We're new, so
I know Ian's more of a Ruffle guy.
Damn.
Yeah. You like ridges? Okay.
I got
that. This is what you have to look forward to, folks. So
I quit.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
But
excuse me,
Ryan, why don't you tell us? I mean, I pretty much have it figured out now, which is pretty much why you're on here. But why don't you tell us and everybody listening what Movies That Doom is and how you incorporate that into your music?
Yeah, so I am a huge film buff, much like you gentlemen, and I really like. I'm really big on these movies that are so bad that are good, and there's become an expression I find in this music genre that we play in, stoner rock, doom, heavy metal, whatever we're doing. There's a lot of people use the expression, "Oh man, this dooms" as good, and so it wasn't like it wasn't like a super novel idea of, oh, I've got this. I'm obsessed with movies. I mean, I even teach film studies like at a college level and a high school right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Of course, we don't.
Awesome.
I don't get to teach the movies that doom. Those are probably the ones we don't get to teach much because
that would be such a dope class.
I know that would be awesome. I mean, one day, movies that doom will take off so much that I get to teach a course in movies that doom.
You could do like a semester.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Like just and you have a prerequisite of like watching, my other classes and the movies to appreciate shitty blockbuster bombs, or really some of them were really good.
Like Battlefield Earth and
exactly. Waterworld, one of the worst.
Oh yeah, Waterworld. Yeah. 100%.
But see, movies that doom came about because these are basically where it started off. These are basically movies, and I watched as a kid. They were absolutely the greatest things I've ever watched, and I would watch them over and over again. Like they were so amazing. Where the VHSs were being run raw because I just watched them over and over. And then you get older, and you go back and revisit those movies, and you're like, "Holy shit, that was terrible!" But but so nostalgic. Like it just makes me feel good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When I watch it, so that's kind of where basically for me, I was like a big Arnold fan. I like anything Arnold.
Of course, as one is.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and it stems in the 80s were the kings of like having these big, mega, super muscle bound, like, movie stars that there was little to no script or plot, just a bunch of sometimes well placed or terribly placed one-liners throughout the entire film, which by the way, it sounds like just from 10 minutes in, you guys could have written a lot of these lines already, I feel like. So, we got a lot of
I mean,
this episode is already going to doom because of all the one-liners I can tell, and I love it. But yeah, so that's kind of where it stemmed, and I use it with the music now too. And like you said, you were at the show, and I dressed up as Marion Cobretti from the movie Cobra.
Yeah,
man. Did you cut a slice of pizza with scissors?
Right there. I got some pictures right there.
Oh,
Did you actually? That's a good question.
There we are. Well, here's a fun fact, and so I didn't, but I did do a promo. Like I made a promo for the show, and what I did is I called it "Convos with Cobra." And I wore my costume as Marion Cobretti, and I interviewed myself. Like I just split screen it.
Yeah. I saw that.
And during the interview,
Right
I did rudely cut a piece of pizza with scissors. Yeah, while interrupting myself. But yeah, so that's.
I love the wig.
The
wig is so like.
That's sick.
But like he doesn't. You refuse to shave your beard, which I also appreciate.
Yeah, I couldn't lose the beard, but let me tell you something. I have to give. I don't like to give myself credit on much things, but singing with a matchstick in your mouth is incredibly difficult.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess, yeah, that's true. I could see that.
But I had to stay in character. I had to. But
That's great.
Oh
what
yeah,
was great
you
is
were
that-
because you sorry to interrupt, but yeah, you introduced the whole band as like a Sylvester Stallone type, pretty much.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and you weren't even the only Sylvester Stallone there either.
yeah. We had a Rambo, which is why I said on the show I was strangely attracted to this guy, and I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out why. But
There he is.
But yeah, like some of the characters were like not. I mean, I don't know if people were getting it because I was calling everybody scumbag and like telling people to clean up their act, and and I was hoping I could go up to somebody and like rip their shirt or something, just be like a dick, but
Yeah.
but I didn't do that. But yeah, we were Marion Cobretti and the Scumbags that night, filling in for High Desert Queen.
That's
That was,
awesome.
That was what we did. So it was a good time. I think maybe 3 people knew that I was Marion, who I actually was.
Oh.
But
yeah.
all it took was one, and I'm like, this is why I did.
I didn't get it until you said who you were, and then I was like, okay, cool, bro, I got that.
Yeah, well, because I don't look like I got this freaking white beard going on, right? But,
yeah,
exactly. It doesn't really scream Marion Cobretti, but
it's a suspenders.
But like
Yeah,
that's the whole like.
holster.
As you know, the whole movie So Bad They're Good guy myself, like I appreciate like how like you put in effort. Like you could have made it better, but like you didn't. But that's what makes it great because you put enough effort into it. To be like
There's
exactly.
It's effort, but with
with some fuck it,
with what you can, with some fuck it. Exactly. That's what makes. That's kind of what makes these movies great.
And then like and everybody did. You got,
I saw a snake. Yeah,
Snake Plissken. Yeah.
Because going back to the whole fuck it thing, I feel like it's what a lot of these directors did. They're like, was that a good take?
Exactly.
Fuck it.
We got 3 hours at this location. We got.
I think it was a little more like fuck it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're bleeding money.
But we got Snake Plissken killed it. Everyone knew that one. That was Snake Plissken. Everyone knew that.
Yeah.
I was gonna go because the bald head. I was gonna go John McClane. But I felt like I was too mainstream. So I was gonna walk around and be like, yabba dabba doo, that kind of crap, whatever, like yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and all that stuff, right?
It's hard. I'm trying to think of an action star from that era that you could have fit with a beard. I can't think of one. Is there anybody? Can anybody think of one?
I don't think so.
Action star with a beard from
the 80s? No, they were really into the clean cut. But now,
they were all about clean cut.
Yeah, I know. We literally racked our brains forever, and even Snake Plissken. I mean, he didn't have a beard, but we couldn't find any, and all of us have like freaking beards.
Oh, you could have been McCready from The Thing or something. That's not really an action movie.
See, but our drummer nailed it because he was Non from the Superman 1 and 2.
The
really big.
Yeah.
That's a dope picture too. Like your photographer was fucking amazing.
There you go. But there's a guy. Awesome. There's a guy with a beard in a movie, at least. You got to reach for it. You really do.
You can see him better right there.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, and then we had, of course,
we got one more.
Vincent Vega.
Okay.
Started to tell from that picture, but
the bolo tie gives it away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, his wife was a tandem. His wife, they were doing the dancing parts. My wife came as Pris from Blade Runner, and she looked.
I saw that. She was actually standing kind of next to me. You pointed her out in the crowd. I was like, oh yeah, that's the Blade Runner. Yeah.
So we were supposed to do tandem, and I was going to be Roy Batty, and nice. but I couldn't stomach the idea of like running around in a pair of like just maybe what does he wear, like boxer briefs at the end, like running around all crazy.
Yeah.
So. And I was like,
they probably wouldn't have even let you into the club.
I know.
Who are you, sir?
Yeah, they almost didn't because I was just because of my plastic gun. They're like, whoa, I got to do plastic. And I'm not carrying a gun around here, man. I'm just plastic.
Yeah, good point. So before we get into the movie, I do want to bring up. So you also incorporate these kind of movies into your music videos. So like right now, I think you just have one, which is Mountain versus the Quake, and which is some fun hokey stuff. Like your hand gets cut off and you're bleeding everybody, and then like you rip the guy's intestines out.
Out. Yeah.
That I'm just like, yeah, I gotta get this guy on the show.
Yeah, we wanted that was our first music video to the world, right? And it's kind of funny because our label and everyone was like, oh, just we get a great video. People want to see what you look like, who you are. I'm like, I'm not going to do the cliche music video in an abandoned warehouse and we're rocking whatever. I'm not doing it. So I mean, we may do that eventually, but for the first one, I'm like, I want something weird, and so I tried to write something that was super crazy. I had a different idea that we're going to use for the next one. Now that we actually have time, we did that like in a day. But we had I have a music video concept. The next music, this is not a spoiler alert because hopefully it's something that adds intrigue. But we'll have a music video coming out later in the year that's completely based upon Samurai Cop.
Yes.
And I even got approval from the production company to allow to use clips and things like that. So I was like, we're fired up. So now that we got that approval, we're taking the time. Like we did this other video in literally 8 hours.
Let me ask you, what's the backdoor conversation look like on that one? Is it a clear, oh yeah, go ahead, take it, or was there a little bit more negotiation involved?
Yeah, we had to go back and forth for a while because I was emailing them, and first of all, I couldn't figure out who to freaking contact for this movie because like nobody was like claiming it. Nobody wanted to claim it. They had the rights to it.
Huh.
And then I hit like a huge wall because apparently Disney bought like this whole production company that did it, and I'm like, Disney's never gonna answer an email from me. So I found a who owns the distributing rights to it. And so I emailed them, and they were kind of like, well, who are you and why do you want to do this? And at the time we had nothing. We weren't even signed or anything yet. I just an idea I had, and I was like, yeah, well, we just kind of got this music video, and I'll send you this song, and kind of back and forth. And they were like, it's not even for Mountain versus the Quake. It's for a different song, a song called Heads Will Roll, which is about getting your head lopped off, kind of. So it's gonna be very appropriate. It's gonna be very appropriate.
Don't say.
And yeah, exactly. But it's got to be very cheesy, of course, and very Samurai Cop B movie style.
Yeah, it fits the theme.
And finally, they came back and forth and said, "Yeah, not only that, they're like, whenever you get it done, let us know. We'll help promote and push it, whatever that's worth." So I was like, "Cool,
that's sick." You know what that means? They listened to the track and they liked it.
It's a good track. I will definitely vouch for that. That's the first track.
Thank you.
Like
somebody said
on the album. Yeah.
Somebody said, all right. Yeah, I could see this fitting.
Yeah.
Let them. And they considered it. Now I don't. You don't have to tell me this, but did you have to fork up a little scratch for it? Do you have to give them a little nothing at all?
That's the best. And I was even emailing like because I've done a little bit of homework of like sometimes you can use any clips you want under a certain amount of time, right? Like you're allowed, but before you get copyright infringement, right? And so I even put it out there like we're only going to use 10 to 15 second clips. We won't have more than a minute footage. It's only a 4.5 minute song as it is. Yeah. So and then they were like, "No, man, you're good. Go for it." Like they basically literally gave me the okay to just do nothing but Samurai Cop if I want it. But
that's really cool.
That's awesome. A movie that like barely even exists in the first place. So I mean, you definitely like you're barking up the right tree for that one.
Well, apparently, if Disney owns it, then we may see a reboot soon on Disney Plus.
I want my Disney Plus Samurai Cop series.
No, it's going to be aimed towards kids. It's going to be Samurai Kitty Cops, and it's going to be CGI. It's going to be directed by the same people who do all the
I can totally see that. But for anybody listening who's never seen Samurai Cop, it's phenomenal. Like
not a horror movie, but.
I would absolutely in a heartbeat cover it on this show, but this is just horror and sci-fi. But if you go to my old show,
horrible.
If you go to my very first podcast,
horrible.
Yeah, exactly. But if you go to my first podcast, Movie So Bad They're Good, that was the very first movie that we did review on.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, and I love it. And if you go to my Facebook group, Movies So Badly Good, Midnight Cult Classics and Camp, I pretty much made that group based on Samurai Cop in the Room. So yeah, that movie has a huge place in my heart, and I'm so glad that y'all are putting it in your music video because like that's amazing. But
and we have, and part of the music video we're making, the next one that's coming out, was filmed at that Music Doom release party. So that all our live footage for the next video coming out was filmed there.
Perfect.
And then
I heard something.
And then we're
gonna
do.
Yeah, nice.
We got a couple. Yeah, we got a couple more scenes to do. It's all about Movies at Doom. We're in those character costumes going around different places, which is kind of wild, but it'll be fun.
By the way, I did forget to mention that this podcast, I accidentally recorded a whole bunch before we actually released the show. So this is backed up. So by the time this episode comes out, it'll be late February, early March. So are we still talking about the future? Or is this something that's happened right now?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So the music video that's out now, it was filmed live at that Movies at Doom release party.
Yeah, sorry. This will be a while before it comes out.
We're in the future.
We are in the future.
Dude. Yeah, this is fucking weird, man. You guys tripping me out.
Kind of like Shopping Mall.
I mean, exactly. Bad movies, bad podcast. You know,
it really was.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about Shopping Mall. So, Ryan, was this your first time you've seen it, or what was your first?
Oh no, I saw it as a kid. I might have been because I'm an '80s kid. I was probably maybe. I didn't see it when it came out by any stretch, but I was probably maybe 8 or 9 before I finally saw it, and it was awesome. I mean, it still is. But as a kid, I remember being actually scared of the robots, and actually scared that rooting for people to get out, and oh my god, another person died. Oh my god, I was really it was stressing me out. Oh my god, everyone's gonna die, and then it's gonna escape me now, but we're allowed to talk about spoilers, right? I mean, we're assuming.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Since we haven't really talked about the movie until now,
characters die.
Yeah. Here. This is the spoiler alert. We're gonna start talking about Shopping Mall. 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And let's start from the end and go to the beginning. So only the fucking nerds.
Yeah. I know. Here I am.
I love that. Yeah,
that's my whole thing about it is that the one guy I don't know I don't care his name he doesn't do anything the whole movie and
Ferdy.
Yeah, Ferdy. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's got
Flirty
a
Ferdy.
stupid name. Yeah, and
dude, he gets with what's her name?
Does he?
He fucking they watch the crab people together and they they get a little crabby.
Yeah, but the whole movie, he doesn't do shit.
Teaching us doesn't even hook up, doesn't do shit at all.
Oh, at that moment,
that's what the '80s were telling us, right?
Just
people
say no.
Who don't have sex. They didn't die.
This was a commentary on the AIDS epidemic, but we'll get to that later. The thing that stood out to me was when everybody's having sex in the store, right? In the furniture store, and everybody's banging. They're panning around. To
totally normal.
All the people banging. It's
I mean, I'd rather bang there than the paint department.
Yeah, my point is not about where they're banging. Bang where you will. But rather that the two who chose not to bang, as soon as that happened, I went, oh yeah, she's the last girl.
Well, see, that's the thing. She was into it. She wanted to. She was because he was all can I take you home? She's like, no, I'd rather stay later. And he's just oh, I don't know what to do.
Well, this movie did a trope that was pushed a lot in the 80s where you took, you kind of flipped the script on its head with gender roles, and you're like, oh, well, I'm actually, guess what? You don't know how to fix a car, but I do. At the beginning of the movie, right? When she's, oh, it's always the first time. You know? So it's and then they go to it. My dad was a Marine, great shot. And back then it was so, I guess it was so novel. You could tell me you were there. Maybe it was such a novel thing to have like a heroine, a strong woman in a movie that it was. I
mean, she really takes charge, and like everybody in this movie is completely worthless except for her. like there's the part where they're all shooting at the gas canister in the elevator, and everybody's missing, and she's just like, "Give me that gun!" Pow!
Yeah.
First shot.
Well,
and she's down.
It's like the only '80s movie I can think of where she had the punchline. Right, like she blows the last thing away, and like have a nice day, and like it, you know,
yeah.
Did it happen in
like she was the Arnold? She was the like she was.
Yeah,
and you could say this was almost, you know, obviously Alien is a better movie when you're talking about movies, but you know, this is almost that movie was so far ahead of its time for that kind of
Sigourney, she's kind of a Ripley character.
Yeah, female protagonist, kicking ass.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like it's definitely it's not by far definitely not the only movie that does this, especially in that time. I mean, there were other movies like this, like Night of the Demons. Have y'all ever seen Night of the Demons? That's one we should cover. That's a great '80s. It's Leanna Quigley's in it. She's a classic, you know, scream queen of the '80s. Anyway, I don't want to spoil that movie, but the survivors of that movie are a black guy and a girl who takes charge of it. And you know, I think it was starting to be more of a thing, but still pretty novel, at least from what I've seen.
Definitely ahead of its time.
Yeah,
in that aspect for sure.
For the most part, it was pretty formulaic, and I think that's kind of one of the things that makes this and other movies like Night of the Demons, and Chopping Mall, and I saw both those movies around the same time. Like another one's like, oh god, I don't know, I can go on forever, but you know, there's I think I like.
Did we mention one?
Well, I don't want to, because then I don't want to cover movies that we may or may not cover. You know?
Well, it would be a teaser for the next episodes, perhaps.
Exactly. I don't want to, but basically, yeah. So I don't know. It's not unheard of, but it's certainly, I like movies that do that, and this is definitely one of them. That's one of the things that stand out to me. It tries a little bit to subvert. It's goofy, but it's trying something. You
know what keeps it from subverting to that level, that extra kind of push to make it that edgy factor, which looking back now it seems almost wholesome in a way. It really is an homage to that golden era of 1950s science fiction, which the camp level is like through the roof, and and you know, as much as it may have scared Ryan here as a 6-year-old, those robots, those things look. Yeah, those things look like what was the
shit? I mean,
what's the Nintendo thing like this? It looks like Short Circuit to me.
Rob.
It looks like Rob. It looks like Short Circuit. It looks like come to find out,
it's totally Short Circuit. Right?
They remind me of the robot from Rocky IV that Polly gets, the Polly robot. You remember the Happy Birthday Polly?
Yeah.
Not Paul. You're not Paul. Is it Polly? I can't remember who gets it. His brother. It's Polly, right? Yeah.
Polly,
yeah. They look a lot like that robot.
Well, here I'm gonna try to stump you. First stump of the episode. Can anyone tell me what the robot is actually based on, and much of the movie itself?
Oh man,
is it one of the creatures in RoboCop?
I'll give you a hint. It's a movie released in 1954 that I have never seen or heard of prior to looking this up.
Okay. I was about to say, like, what?
I dived deep into some old interviews and shit, and I found this out.
I just think of like Forbidden Planet and stuff.
It's a movie called Gog, G-O-G, Gog, released in 1954, and it actually, if you remember the scene where the lightning strikes the top of the mall,
right?
and the guy's like, oh, something's going wrong with my robots. Well, that is the whole basis of it. They wanted a modern day Gog, right? So in Gog, the aliens transmit themselves down to Earth through lightning, and then they take over the robots on Earth, and the robots instantly become killers. It's pretty much a spiritual reboot of Gog.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Okay,
yeah, that makes a lot of
sense. Nice. That's some good trivia that probably nobody fucking knew.
I was gonna look up trivia for this movie.
I got plenty more, but let's continue.
Now, I would like to bring up Ryan. You brought up RoboCop, but like they definitely remind me of the robots in the first scene of RoboCop. In fact, the first scene of Chopping Mall reminds me of the first scene.
You talking about Ed 209?
Yeah.
No, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
No, the question is, do you think that they ripped it off?
The bad ones, you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a ripoff. No.
Well, it's definitely not, and I'll tell you why.
I think it just looked like it's from the 80s.
Yeah, that's just what robots look like.
True, but this movie came out in 1986. RoboCop came out in 1987.
Ooh, so if anything, RoboCop saw
RoboCop ripped off Chopping Mall,
and they ripped it off. Ooh, interesting.
Very possible.
I mean,
I think we're onto something.
I think we are. I think we're onto something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The question I had was, did Shopping Mall rip off Short Circuit? And Short Circuit came out the same year, but months later.
Yeah. Huh.
So that's what got me to go back and find God, because I was like, where was a tank tread robot? Where was the first tank tread robot?
You were on the case.
Yeah, you did some digging. I like that.
You know me, I'm always digging for dirt. Now, one other thing, one thing that really, if this is the only thing I say on this whole podcast, this is all I want to say. This thing right here. Did y'all notice who played the janitor?
Oh, hell yeah!
One of the first kills.
Yeah.
Dude, I reckon. So I watched it. I watched it in the car from Albuquerque when we were driving back from a show we played.
Would you recognize him?
First guy I recognized.
First thing what was the movie you recognized?
The janitor. I was like, oh, I've seen this.
He's the only guy you recognize.
I know by name, but yeah.
Okay, so you know him as Dick Miller.
He's Dick Miller. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he was in Terminator.
He's been in
Terminator. He's Gremlins.
Right. He's
Gremlins. I recognize it from Gremlins. That's
he's the old Goddamn.
Gremlins is who I had him for too.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
From my memory, I did some more research. I did some digging, and I found out that the character he plays in this movie goes by the name Walter Paisley, the janitor Walter Paisley. Now, this is not the first.
What did you find out?
This is not the first appearance of Walter Paisley, played by Dick Miller. This is not even the second or third appearance of Walter Paisley, played by Dick Miller.
Oh, yeah.
This is the fifth appearance of Dick Miller as Walter Paisley since A Bucket of Blood by Roger Corman in 1959. Okay,
wow.
A Bucket of Blood.
Pretty cool.
Released by Roger Corman in 1959. Now let's flash forward. Remember Ferdy and his girlfriend sitting there making out on the couch watching a movie? Maybe they weren't there. They made out a little bit, but they were watching the movie, right? Attack of the Crab Monster.
Yeah, that's another
directed by who? Roger Corman.
Same director. Yeah.
All right.
I did know that.
So what we got right here is it's the Walter Paisley verse. Now he played Walter Paisley in Hollywood Boulevard in 1976. He played Walter Paisley in The Howling in 1981, and he was Walter Paisley in the Twilight Zone movie. You know
really?
Yeah.
I remember him in it, but I didn't know he was playing.
Tell me what you remember him from. Tell me where you remember from in the Twilight Zone movie. Who was?
I mean, isn't he is he not a janitor? Isn't he just a janitor?
He's not a janitor. Close.
Or does he have a jumpsuit? Doesn't he have a jumpsuit on? I'm just picturing him with a jumpsuit because he's in a jumpsuit in 90% of the movies.
He worked at the diner, and he worked at the diner in the one where the little boy has all the superpowers.
I was wrong. I thought he was the racist one. Yeah,
I thought he was a racist guy. That guy.
Well, I knew he wasn't the racist guy because he died. Because
he died with the Vietnamese.
But I thought he was in that one for some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, this rabbit hole just goes deeper and deeper. Okay.
The Paisley verse.
This is the final.
What?
I was going to say one more thing.
You mentioned Gremlins, and I do remember from Gremlins.
Yeah, he was in Gremlins. I believe.
But I remember
him dying in a Christmas tree or something.
Yeah,
he's the guy who sells them the guns.
He's the pawn shop. The pawn shop.
Terminator
2.
Yeah,
Judgment Day.
Yeah,
which Terminator 2, a scene in Terminator 2 where Arnold's chasing someone through somewhere, was filmed at the Sherman Oaks Galleria Mall, which is the very same mall where Shopping Mall was filmed.
Oh man,
the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper.
Wait, you're telling me that the mall they shot Shopping Mall in is the Galleria from Terminator 2?
Not only that, but I have some.
Bring it up. Put down the list. This is a famous mall, guys.
It's the same.
Yeah. Commando.
Fast Time at Ridgemont High. Yeah, who stars who? Tell me who's in Fast Times at Ridgemont High? That's in this movie. Somebody tell me.
Wait,
She was gonna play your mom.
Oh, Barbara Crampton. Oh,
no. She was gonna.
Wait, she's not Fast.
She was gonna play your mom. It was the other one. It was Ferdy's girlfriend. I keep forgetting her name.
I can't remember her name. But
the last girl. What's the last girl's name?
I can't remember her name or
her
real name.
This is. We have all the facts and we got none of them.
This is insane.
I can only do so much.
I'm so glad I asked you at the very last minute when somebody else dropped out.
Yeah,
I
figured this all out yesterday, so I'm really happy to share with somebody.
I can't believe I forgot her name. She's also in Night of the Comet. She's also in, I love that movie too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she is. That's right.
But going back to it, the first time
which also takes place in a mall, I think, does it?
And guess what? It's the same mall. It's the same mall. The Sherman Oaks Galleria Mall. Yes, it is. Look it up. Night of the Comet, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Commando, and Terminator 2 all took place at the Sherman Oaks Galleria Mall. Do you want to know why? The guy who owned it is a very big movie fan.
Wait.
Okay.
And it's in Los Angeles.
Hold on.
All right.
So
it's
the janitor.
Yeah.
This janitor gets killed in at least 2 movies because the janitor he gets killed in Shopping Mall, but in Terminator 1,
well, he's not the same guy in Terminator. He is.
It's Walter Paisley. Somehow he comes back to life.
Wait, he was killed Walter Paisley in Terminator?
No, not in Terminator.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Okay, so he's a different guy.
Oh, but he does die.
He's not Walter Paisley. But there is you could say this is the last official movie, the 5th movie that he was in as Walter Paisley. But there was a 1994 remake made for TV of Shake, Rattle, and Roll, where he but he was in there as Officer Paisley.
Okay.
They never show his first name, but we could say that's where his story began.
A twin brother,
an epilogue, perhaps.
Well, it's like that dude from I can't remember his character's name, but Michael Parks played him in a bunch of. He was in Kill Bill. He was the sheriff in Kill Bill. He was in the Grindhouse movies. He was in. He gets shot in the back of the head in From Dusk Till Dawn, though. That's like the first time you see him.
Oh yeah.
At the very beginning, he plays that same sheriff in like a bunch of movies, right? And it's like, and the timeline's all weird, and you're like, did he survive getting shot in the face? Like, does all this take place before 1996?
Yeah, he's in Kill Bill too.
Kill Bill 2. It kind of, I think the timeline with Kill Bill 2 From Dusk Till Dawn actually match up though. I don't remember what year. Anyway, yeah.
So funny story. Funny that you bring up Kill Bill.
Oh no,
because one of Lucy Liu's henchmen in I'm fucking joking. I can't connect Kill Bill to Chopping Mall without like Kevin Bacon in there. Somewhere.
We don't need to. It's somehow. I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying. Are we playing 6 Degrees right now, or somehow are we playing 6 Degrees?
I'd like to move on though and talk about the technology in this video.
But now it's 6 Degrees to Walter Paisley.
Yeah, 6 Degrees to Walter Paisley. Yeah.
The Secret Life of Walter Paisley. Was that a Tom Hanks movie or something?
Ben Stiller.
It should be.
Walter Mitty. Yeah.
It will. Yeah,
Walter.
We need to call up Tom Hanks and get him to play him in all these movies. And
it'll be like, I'm Walter Paisley. Oh God. Well, son.
I am Walter Paisley. I am Walter Paisley.
That's Nick Cage right there.
Yeah.
No, that's not Nick Cage. This is Nick Cage.
Oh,
it's like
shit.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
That's Nick Cage.
Oh my God.
From a screen used prop from the movie 2011's Drive Angry, starring Nicolas Cage and Amber Heard. This was in the scene at the end where he flips the car. But we'll talk about that another time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he brought that up on having to be with Ian.
I have a monster from The Mist actually somewhere in my garage. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, like a screen used. Well, it was
nice.
Anyway, another story for another time.
Well, Tony, you know what you do have that I appreciate. Behind you, you have a picture of Ryan's guitarist from High Desert Queen.
That's cool, dude. That's cool. Somebody drew that up. That's cool. Somebody drew that up.
Yeah.
He drew it. Yeah, they drew it up real quick.
I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you for having that up there. That's really nice of you. So putting it for this episode, I appreciate that. I know you did your homework. I thank you for that. So
I did a little bit.
So let's make fun of this movie. So something that the thing that drives me nuts, aka that I love, is a scene right. I think it's so like if you unmute yourself, you can talk during this, but so it's just like shooting, terrible aim, but yeah, he shoots at her, nothing. Shoots at her, nothing. Shoots her ass, nothing. Damn!
Yeah,
love it.
Just
it's the kill shot.
So I guess
he's just being cute, playing with her, a little on the butt, on the nice shoulder, and then all right, let's do it. Done.
They were glance shots.
Explosion.
Yeah.
Explosion.
Yeah. So
these robots are. God,
just fucking with her, but no,
just fucking with her.
Earlier, I was listening to another podcast that reviewed this movie, and they they came up with a theory that the lasers blow up everything except for like silk. So she was protected by that.
Oh yeah.
See, I was gonna say like
knew, they could all have worn. They had gone right to the department store and just draped themselves in silk, and they'd have been fine. They had the antidote there the whole time.
It worked for Magic Johnson, you know. But one thing I think my theory would probably, if I had to come up with a theory about why that scene took place the way it did, I would say that, well, first of all, you got to look at that character. Look at how she's acting throughout the early part of the movie. She's definitely got some sort of learning disability of some sort. She's not all there. She's missing a few screws. She's two cards short of a deck. You know what I'm saying? So perhaps there, you can almost kind of assume there may have been some sort of, early brain trauma in her life, and so there may be some kind of metal plate in her head, like the Pete and Pete mom. Yeah. Okay. So she's got this metal plate in her head. So it's ooh, let me get some flesh. Let me get some this. Let me get some that. Yeah. And it's boo 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 boo. But it hits that metal plate. It conducts. It conducts the energy. Blows it up.
Yeah.
Just
like 3 people died in this movie because of electricity. And water.
There's a lot of that. So, a lot of that.
The metal plate theory.
Metal plate theory.
It could be that she grew up by under some power lines, and so she has like a magnetic field around her that kind of dissipates as it goes up, and so that when it hit her in the body and on the booty, it was fuzzed out, like it was like a
ground.
Yeah, like a ground, and then when it hit her head, it was too much. It was empty, and it like. When you like drop like a big, hollow something and it just blows up, she's got a lot of space in there.
See, I find a lot of credence in your theory, but I would find more if she looked like the guy from Powder with the shaved head, albino.
Yeah,
maybe the blonde hair was a wig. Maybe it was a wig.
We don't know.
It could have been because she's clearly not an athlete. You see in the way she runs, that's not very athletic. Like.
My favorite
arm is wailing,
My favorite part of that scene is how she ends up just like right on display in the full floor to ceiling windows, and and these kids are looking out from where they're usually looking in.
Kids. Yep.
And they're saying they're playing like high schoolers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
I think so.
They're 30-year-old teenagers.
Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah.
That's how it worked,
Yeah.
But
I like all the reactions, like all of their reactions. Just
every time somebody dies, they just sit there and watch.
They're like, oh. I don't like. I just smelled a fart. Oh, that's it.
Oh no.
There's no like. Oh my! There's no pure panic, freak out. The best scream in the whole movie was the girl who got her head shot.
Absolutely, for sure. That and the girl who's just on fire, and that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, that's Barbara Crampton.
Okay, that was a good scream. That was a good scream.
It's because she kills it, dude. She's in all these movies for a reason. She kills it.
That was a very good scream.
But what I enjoy about that same scene that we just watched. Okay, so you take like a real, like, honest, like, true horror movie that does work, that does everything right. Like, say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, there's a part where the girl's just kind of sneaking around, and all of a sudden, Leatherface comes out of nowhere with the chainsaw. Boom, bitch! And it is terrifying. And this one kind of tried to do it, but what makes it funny is it doesn't really do it the same way, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Boom, bitch! It's just like...
Yeah. Well, how those doors open, right? Do they have control of all the doors? I guess
you see this big bulky metal thing. It's just not the same.
Arms, you know?
So instead of like being scared, you're just like, oh,
it's exhaust.
Well, he probably took that guy's cigarette
and a smoke break. Had a smoke break.
Exactly.
Right?
The guy
had a smoke break.
The guy just
the bitch
bought some cigarettes. So, which, by the way, this movie had the audacity to show us the horror. This is the scariest thing about this whole movie is the price of cigarettes, $1.25.
That was awesome. And that he was mad about it.
$1.25.
That he was mad about it made me. I was like, I just quit smoking cigarettes 2 weeks ago, and I was like, well, damn, if it was $1.25,
I'd have to get back.
I might still be hanging with Joe Camel.
I'd die if it was that cheap. Damn.
Yeah. Smooth.
Well,
I mean,
another 80s movie though, teaching us that smoking, kills. That she needed a smoke break.
She did.
They died.
Yep.
See, it's layered. The underlining messages.
Yep.
The good wholesome 80s movies.
Yep.
The censorship bureau was all up in that shit. They were just
he smoked the cigarettes, but he died.
The tobacco company was pissed.
They gotta die. And the tobacco company was like, we got the kids anyway in real life. It don't matter.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Just mention smoking. Just mention smoking. We're good.
The tobacco companies use the movie as an excuse to push flame retardant couch cushions.
Yes.
As look what they can do to this mall.
Yeah, exactly.
A cigarette can do that to your house too. Not a cigarette, but
Do you guys think that this movie was secretly a meditation on automation taking over human work?
That's definitely a big message.
That's got to be right. So now, why do you think so in the 80s? That's when it kind of started, right? I mean, like robots and stuff.
Well, you got Terminator.
You're right. Terminator's kind of.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this became an 80s fear. Like, oh shit.
Yeah. So this is. Yeah.
And now they're going to take our jobs, even our mall security jobs.
I mean, that's in all honesty, that is my biggest fear right now.
Is robots taking over?
Sleep every night.
And you saw that with the performance of Dick Miller as Walter Paisley,
right?
Yep.
When he's arguing with the thing, he's like, "Look, here's my badge. Here, you can't see it. Ah, you fucking dumbass robot."
He's just like cussing at the robot.
He's like, he goes, "I work here too." He's like, "I work here too." Like,
yeah. Hey, I work. That's a great point. He does say, "I work here too." Like, hey, come on, man, we're working here, and that a robot's not gonna have that same coworker mentality.
Yeah.
That's not going to appeal to a robot. You're just going to get shot. Another thing, I could say this is a theory. I could say I don't know, but the lightning coming down. If I didn't know about Gog, I would say that was just a red herring, right? Because if you look at the beginning of the movie where they show the commercial with the bad guy running away, and you think it's still the movie, and then they pull out, you're like, oh, it's just an ad for the robot product. Yeah. And they're sitting there, and the guy's giving his spiel when he turns the robot on. He says, look how safe it is. I can just show him my ID badge, and he's not gonna think anything bad of me. He's not gonna think I'm intruding. He takes the ID badge and he puts it right up
against it,
the laser, and only then does the robot say, "Oh, okay, cool."
It scans.
Yeah.
Never again in the whole movie do they try to do they do that. They hold it up like this. They're like, fucking robot. So I really do think part of this is user error.
Yeah, well, I feel like
it doesn't help. I would say you're right, but something about like the whole power supply, the thing that controls them getting struck by lightning 7 times in a row, kind of had something to do with it too.
Oh yeah, I feel like it might have been
God.
I feel like it could be either way, but yeah, maybe if there is credence to your theory that like maybe I could easily see that could easily be a reshoot. That takes one insert.
And then
just like blah 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 blah. And like they're like their audiences can shut up now. So it's either one. Yeah, so I can see either one.
So we see
just think about. I was just saying, think about how much budget they could have saved if they could have gotten rid of the lightning bolt. Just
that's where the budget went.
It was all a mistake.
The ID card didn't work.
Yeah, that would have been a fun ending, honestly, just to be like, you didn't scan it right. We're not. Any lawsuit you put against us, we're not taking this.
Oh,
we're
God.
not taking this.
Oh, God. Oh, and that brings me to another point. When they're sitting around like this whole time we're looking at it through 21st century eyes. We're saying, oh God, yeah, these dudes are going to get if they survive this, they're going to get big money. The families are going to get money of the kill.
No.
But if you remember in the movie, they ask they actually turn to each other as they're sitting there, like, before most of them die, they're sitting there and they're kind of regrouping and they say, oh God, we're going to be on, like, how much money we're going to owe the mall for this, in so many words. And the guy's like, oh shoot, I'm going to have to, how many oil changes is that? She does the math. She's like, oh, 42 fucking million oil changes. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to start charging more for oil changes. Like, the robots killed you. Why are you gonna pay them? It doesn't make any sense. But maybe tell me, okay, Ryan, in the 80s, people couldn't get sued. This was all somebody else's fault.
No.
I
mean,
tell me about it.
You could get sued, but now I think they're ahead of the curve. They're once again movie ahead of its time, right? We know that this company had very smart lawyers, and in the bylaws, I'm sure somewhere it says, if struck by lightning, we're in the clear, or you don't scan the card right, we're in the clear. We know.
Also, I would argue. Maybe. I'm no lawyer, but they broke into the mall and snuck in after hours. They're trespassing.
Well,
those are security guards. They didn't break in, but they're trespassing. YouTube people do this all the time, where they'll sneak into like an IKEA and they'll like hide somewhere and then they'll close and then they'll like spend the night there. And those motherfuckers sometimes get in a lot of trouble for that. Sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they do. People. I've always wanted to do that. When I was a kid, I always wanted to stay overnight.
If I had to put on my lawyer hat, I would say, well, they didn't sneak in. They all were all friends with somebody who actually worked and had keys to one of the storefronts. Where
still trespassing.
No, they all worked there. I think all of them worked there.
That's still trespassing.
Not that store, but they all worked at.
Not if you got the permission. And they even talked about and they already set it up for people, because that was the question at the press conference. What if there's somebody working late? Well, what are you going to do then? Well, those kids were working late. They had some
ID card.
So what?
That's true.
ID card.
That's true.
If they were working late, I want to work there because I wasn't working.
Sir, you have never been a delivery driver.
There's some work involved.
Well, I'm kind of starting to side with Tony here. I'm thinking, who's really at fault here?
I'm just saying.
Robots. I might be on the robots side.
They just did their job. They were just doing their
job. They were supposed to do.
They did.
I think we can all agree, if they were just some normal people like breaking into the place, to like maybe steal some clothes or some food or something, totally deserve to be brutally murdered, right?
Brutally
murdered.
Lasered to death.
Yeah. These were young white kids.
Yeah, they're
just fucking. Young white kids fucking.
Just fucking making more white children. Come on now.
I don't know.
So my thing about this is hilarious of how the reason why these robots exist is for security, and the security is they want to protect the merchandise in the mall. But
they destroyed it.
They destroyed everything.
Yeah. They are going haywire, to be fair. I'm sure they're a little more contained when they're not in kill mode, I guess. But
which speaking of, I read a fun fact that they had such a small budget that they had to film this like after hours in the mall.
Yes,
that makes sense.
And the rule is they had to be cleaned up before they opened.
Okay.
Damn, that scene with that robot, they busted in and they were blowing shit up everywhere. That's probably
right. A lot of glass got broken.
Actually, only one glass door got broken, and it was pre-made to be broken. And what they did is
of course
put it in front of the camera.
No. Let me tell you,
Hollywood trick.
they swept up the glass and they reused it in all the other scenes. If you go back and you look, you only see one window actually get smashed. The rest is like you hear a smash, and then you see the robot rolling over, smash the
there's
glass.
definitely more than one.
No.
Because there's one where the robot. There's two where the robot drives through.
I'm sorry. This is
the one where the girl she puts her sweater over her head and just runs through the glass, which is.
But I mean, this is straight.
Remember the terrible punchline? I got the keys, and he throws the crowbar.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I don't know. This is straight from an interview with Jim Wynorski. They maybe not just one thing they smashed, but they definitely reused broken glass.
I mean, I can see that.
Times.
Yeah, that's like Hollywood glass. That's like
I bet you it was the same glass
really
door.
I'm sure.
They probably just put paint in it. Yeah,
it's probably the same door.
Yeah.
Put the camera behind it, and you can break the same glass 1,000 times, no matter where it is. So it's pretty smart.
See that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So what other?
What do you guys think the robots were made out of? What would you guess? Like went
something
into that
bulletproof for sure.
No.
Explosion proof. Unless
props, not the actual.
The actual robots.
They didn't construct bulletproof fucking death machines. What do you think they used?
Some kind of like remote control car or something, right? It has to.
It was remote controlled. They actually used 12-volt car batteries and wheelchair motors, so to run the treads. And the treads themselves were the conveyor belts from a sushi restaurant, where the sushi goes around like this, and you pick your roll off of it.
Yeah, there's a place here in Austin that's like that.
And then also the claw hands. Those were Japanese toys, like plastic Japanese.
Oh, I love that. Every time it would show up,
just these.
They
literally just look like a.
The best. One of the best shots is that when all the doors are closing, we're like, oh shit, we're about to be closed in. There's that one silhouette of the monster, and he goes
the shadow,
chink, and then and the door closes.
Like, I love it.
Like that's supposed to strike just fear in you, but it's so cheesy. That's scary.
What about the scientist who pulls out the centerfold? And they zoom in on the nipple of the centerfold
through the tip,
right through the tip.
Yeah. See that's another thing. It's because it's the security guard, and like he's doing his job. Lightning strikes. He looks back. He sees nothing, but something's happening. Looks back again. He looks back like 7 times.
Always
the second he does something he's not supposed to, what happens?
Yeah.
What are the 80s really teaching us here, man? What are they really teaching us? Do your job.
Trying to jerk off, a robot's going to come and kill you.
This is some like 1984 shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
or 1986, I guess.
Technically 86.
Close.
1986, but kind of Orwellian here, right? Yeah.
Another thing, can we talk about Steve's can we talk about Michael, the fucking jock, arrogant asshole character?
Michael.
Yeah. He looked like he was
the whole time
punch her when she
asked
for cigarettes.
When he
You think he was chewing the gum when he was going down, or you think he was chewing the gum? Is that why she was upset?
Always new gum. Yeah. She's like same piece the whole time. He likes to savor the flavor. But the scene where he straight up fucking like just comes up behind her, and he doesn't do a full honk, but he comes up behind his girlfriend and just does like a like a juggling, juggling.
Yeah.
And then
we all knew
the dad walks up looking
out
like
of nowhere.
fucking,
He's like, where dad
looking like he's about to ask for some Grey Poupon. And
why is dad there? He's just like out of like a corner, like.
And you think that's gonna set up some? You think you're gonna see some more of the dad? The dad might show up later, like you fucking dumbass. Nope, just one scene where this guy showed up for an hour and did his thing and then left. And
we all knew Mike was going to be one of the first ones to go.
They could have done so much more with that dad. You know?
Yeah. They had no time,
he should have been, He should have been one to show up, be like, "Where's my daughter?" And then he like gets involved with robots or something. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like they could have thrown him in there.
They could have put a lot more in this movie. This movie is like 79 minutes long.
It's very short.
With 15-minute credits.
They did cut 20. They did cut 20 minutes from the original Killbots, though. And we haven't talked about that. This movie was released.
The title, yeah.
This movie was released as Killbots. It wasn't never in theaters as Chopping Mall. It was released on video as Chopping Mall to try to drum up sales and shut. There's zero chopping in this mall.
There is no chopping.
Yeah, and the poster has like a robotic badass robot hand with like a bunch of gore in it. It's like that never happened.
They don't even have hands. They have these. They have
this is one of the best.
Pretty much, okay, I gotta say, pretty much every movie we cover on this show has
an inaccurate poster.
Yeah, a poster that does not happen. Like we just Troll 2 the other couple weeks ago, and that's a really bizarre cover right there.
Yeah, I don't know that one's but I mean, Creepshow is pretty accurate to what you're going to experience. But yeah, I will say this has one of the best video box arts. I appreciate it. I love it. Before I ever saw it, and I always would go to the video store and be like, "What the fuck is that movie about? That's got to be cool, man. That's got to be cool." And I saw it, and I was like, "The fuck? This is like a sci-fi. This is it's not really. I mean, there's nothing really scary about
it's like Terminator,
robots,
but
no."
Yeah, they're Daleks. Essentially.
It's Terminator, but no.
Yeah, the only way to make a scary robot is to tap into the uncanny valley, where it's so human that it's it's not. That's what scares me about robots, when they can trick you.
Yeah,
and Terminator did that perfectly. You know,
right?
But then,
although these Killbots, they had
Terminator,
they had a human voice.
Blade Runner, yeah,
Blade Runner did that, right?
But they did have a human voice, which I thought was hilarious. They just a robot would be like, "Present ID badge, please." But this one was it sounded like a guy eating a burger or something. It was like,
yeah.
You know who did the voice? You know who did the voice for the robots?
Oh my god, who did the
voice? Was the director, right?
It was the director. It was Wanowski.
He was probably eating a burger while he was doing it.
You just downshifted it. They phased it and they downpitched it. You know what he's doing.
Calling it Chopping Mall though was brilliant.
Oh, regardless of it. It's so funny.
I mean that is that exactly. It's brilliant, and that we're talking about this on a show because if it was probably still called Killer Bots. We may
probably would have never heard
Killbots.
It.
Sorry, Killbots.
Killbots. Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Chopping Mall.
That's two nail on the head.
Slasher. You're like, oh, it's a slasher film, even though it's not a true slasher.
And it is a slasher. No, I mean, it pretty much
is.
It follows all the rules.
But those other do kill. The difference is those other slashers weren't informed by the Roger Corman films. They weren't informed by the golden age of sci-fi. The same way that this movie was. This movie was an homage to another era, which in the 80s the whole 80s was an homage to the 50s anyway. So this kind of fits in.
It really was
so 80s, but it's also so 50s when you really look at it.
I was going to say that earlier. It's that's kind of the thing. It's you can't give. This is my favorite kind of so bad it's good, where it's it's not. I don't know. Some people will watch a shitty movie and be like, oh man. I mean, if it's really shitty, yes. But I hate being someone will watch a fucking Lifetime movie and be like, you gotta watch it so bad it's good. I'm like, no, it just sucks. It's a bad movie. And it is bad and it's funny how bad it is. But this is it's definitely not a great movie. But I love that it's got stuff going on. It's got heart. It's trying to be something. It's got.
What I teach in my class would be something like this: is it's a bad movie, but there's still art.
Yeah, it's art.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For example, you just clearly pointed out that it's paying homage to it's a total of 50s campy kind of movie. It's exactly sci-fi.
It's aware of itself.
Yeah.
Exactly. The guy has a history. He knew what he was making. He knew exactly what he was doing, right? Yeah. So it's got art. There's art into making a bad movie.
There's one scene. Yeah. There's one scene in this movie that tells me that Wanowski's a Lynch fan. That he may have seen Dune. I forget when Dune came out, but he may have seen some Lynch films or what's that? Okay, yeah. So he may have seen Dune, or he may have seen Eraserhead or something like that. But the one scene,
that's a good movie.
The one scene where the two, I forget the character's name, but it's just Teen 1 and Teen 2. They're making out on the couch, right? And and he looks at the girl. The guy looks at the girl. He says, "You smell like pepperoni."
Oh yeah.
He said, and the girl stands up. And this scene is out of nowhere, and it could be cut from the movie, and you would never notice. But she stands up, and she says, "Well, if that's the way you feel," and he goes,
the punchline, right?
He goes, "Wait a minute, pepperoni. I like pepperoni." And then she goes, and then without turning around, he's lying on the couch. She's facing the camera, not looking directly into it, looking away in the distance, right? A misty-eyed 1,000-yard stare. And she's standing there, and she goes, "Well, if that's the case," not sexily, but just kind of like sadly, starts humming what sounds what could be the theme song from Rosemary's Baby, where she's like,
it's the singing though. That's
the singing, and it's a slow humming. It's not even like a sing. It's like a humming of a minor key song that doesn't exist, and she's pulling down, and you instantly you could see her nipples through like the sheer lingerie, and then she pulls it down further, and bam, she's all out. Never turns around. It just keeps humming
until she jumps on him.
Until she like gets all the way down with the shirt and jumps on him. What the fuck was that scene?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what that scene was. That was probably in real life. The director was on the other side. It was like, you want to be a star, don't you?
Oh, I hope not.
You got to show your boobs.
Yeah. A 24-year-old Harvey Weinstein was sitting in the corner,
exactly.
fucking,
probably.
Gilbert, or what is it? Mr. Burnsing his fingers there,
And we got to do that take again. We got to take it again. Take it again.
Yeah, one more time. This time, stare right at the camera. Look, don't look at me. Look at Mr. Weinstein. Look at Mr. Weinstein.
Longer humming. More humming while you
make it sadder. I want to think of my mom.
Yeah, no, there's definitely. You're right, though. That's definitely either a Lynchian or a unintentional. I don't know. That scene is definitely you smell like.
That's avant-garde as fuck, dude. That scene is avant-garde.
It's trying something. Yeah, it's not. It's aware of what it's doing. Once again, it's like it's definitely not trying to be anything other than fucking weird in that scene. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, I mean, I love shit like that. I mean, I think like Return of the Living Dead has moments like that are just like, this is fucking funny, like this is like really. Those are totally. That's a smart ass movie, though. I think that movie definitely knows what it's doing.
It's well made. It knew exactly what it was doing.
Every bit of it is funny.
We're starting to run a little low on time. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up before we go into the next segment?
I have one thing that I do want to bring up. Maybe it'll go into whatever we're about to talk about. It is. I was going to talk about this earlier. There is a little bit of real life precedent for what happens in this movie, because there are mall security robots now in some malls. You can look this up. There's been 2 separate stories that are hilarious. One of them was, not that. I think one of them killed somebody. It's not that funny for that person, but I'm pretty sure they got run over by So it's killbots are here, baby. Chopper malls are a thing. But the other one was a robot cop, mall security robot that just like really sadly just drove itself into like the one that killed itself.
I remember hearing about that.
It was a mall robot cop that just drove itself like real just sad. There's video of it. He's like, and it just like drove itself into the the wake of the wishing,
like a little
fountain in the mall, and it just killed itself. So we're already having we're having suicide rates on these killbots.
We never learned our lesson.
The problem was that robot had access to Netflix, and all he wanted was some friends.
Oh no!
Oh god!
He just wanted The Office. He just wanted to watch The Office.
He just wanted to dance in the fountain with like a.
Oh, I see.
It was a reach. It was a reach, like a claw reaches for through a pin up
throat, through a porn mag. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's how I was. That's how far I read.
Well, let's go ahead to the next segment, which is the prompt, which I give all of y'all. So I asked y'all to pitch a possible sequel or prequel, spinoff, or maybe pitch the same movie but replace one or more characters with another character, or like a remake or anything. So Tony, let's start with you. I know you got something.
Man, this one was tough because like, how do you? It's like, honestly, I think the only way you could do it, you'd have to remake it and focus on like, I mean, you kind of have to. All right, so they already have the themes of like, okay, automation taking over jobs. That's huge right now. I would probably if I wanted to make it like a effective thriller instead of like I don't know, because I feel like making a throwback to old robot movies at this point, it's like, well, they did that, so you can't really just do that again. You could make a throwback to 80s robot movies, but that's throwback to, you see what I'm saying? So you can't really do that. You'd have to do it like a Paul Verhoeven-esque kind of like anti-capitalist, like I would honestly, I'd probably not put it in a mall. I'd put it in a mall, but it would be like part of a mall where like it's like an Amazon distribution center is what I'm thinking, because they got the robots and they got like all these actual robots that really do exist now. So this is not that weird. And so you say like 10 years from now, we'll have robots that probably look kind of like, I mean, fucking Tesla is making robots apparently in the next few years that are going to be like people. They're going to lift like 20, like a 240 pound. Like, I don't know. They're not super strong, but they're strong enough to where I'm like, I've seen this. Nope. And so we're not far. I don't want to do iRobot because that's iRobot, but like a hunky. I'd still want to do a hunky kind of like boxy robot, but something that we're kind of familiar with, because that kind of exists.
Kind of like a Star Wars kind of thing with like the droids.
Kind of. I wouldn't make him human-y. I would still keep him like.
No, I mean like the R2D2 and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like an evil R2D2 a little bit. That's cute though. You don't want him too cute. Yeah, I would just make him look really. Yeah, just like boxy, and make him kind of look like. I would probably make him look kind of like they do in the movie, but not as goofy. It's hard though. They have those heads that look like Rob. Yeah, they look like Rob.
Yeah.
I keep the treads. Either way, there'd be a lot of people getting run over. A lot of people getting like boxed, like broken and put in boxes. Like and like making a big person like a little box, and then someone opens it and it's just like and it blows up and like ribs and guts fly out. That would be my chopping mall. That would be there'd be a bunch of people dying, and then like people would have to they'd be stuck in there. They'd be peeing in bottles, and then they would throw the pee bottles at the robots to kill them. See, so many Amazon jokes you can make, like so many like Amazon fulfillment center jokes, and you'd play like 16 tons.
They would be the drones, wouldn't they? They would be the package delivery drones.
Yeah, that would be the whole factory. Those would be like the aerial units. They'd be hiding, and then they'd be like, "Oh God, spies!" and they'd be dropping packages and bowling balls. And
call it Chopping Mall 2 Airborne.
Yeah. Call it
shopping warehouse.
What's like the opposite of fulfillment? Like
unfulfillment.
Unfulfillment center.
That's pretty good because I just watched that South Park episode the other night.
Oh yeah, they nailed it in that episode too. Yeah, they have 16 tons in that one. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's so appropriate.
That's a pretty good one. Ian, how about you? What you got?
All right, I guess I'm going to start with the title. Pawn Chop.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It's a found footage movie based around and the found footage is behind the scenes shots of a filming of a Pawn Stars type TV show.
Wait.
In Vegas.
Hold on, I have to interrupt you. Is it Pawn Shop or Pawn Chop?
Dude,
Chop.
What the fuck do you think it is?
Okay.
All right, that's the whole point. It's Pawn Chop. Come on.
All right, cool.
That's the whole point. Okay, it's starring Tommy Lee Jones and Bam Margera as the two pawn shop workers.
That's a fucking weird cast.
All right.
Yeah.
They're playing like, remember the show Pawn Stars? They're playing like the dad and the Chumlee characters. Okay.
Oh my God, Bam is a good Chumlee. I see.
Well, you need Bruce Willis in there, though.
Okay, no. Tommy Lee Jones and Bam Margera. Tommy Lee Jones just sick of Bam Margera's shit. But
of course, it's like, who wouldn't be?
But it's behind the scenes shot, right? And we can intersplice scenes from the actual show. But it's like kind of behind the scenes, and it's this young production company type thing getting their foot in the ground. They're doing some behind the scenes of their early days, right? A package comes in, or a guy comes in with some robot he found in his parents' basement that's been there for like 40 years, and it's one of the chopping mall bots. Okay, and they dust it off. They undersell him on it. they get it for like, I don't know, like $60 or something. They're like, maybe we'll get some fucking nerd in here to come buy this stupid shit.
Pretty sure it's the robot from Rocky
And then
IV.
we could all just imagine how the rest of it goes. All right. You know,
that's good.
They start wreaking havoc on the Sunset, on the Las Vegas Strip. They can find whatever they want. It's a pawn shop. They got everything. You know, there's a flamethrower back there. You know, they got underneath the pawn shop. There's got secret weapons and shit, and we can intertwine some other subplots in there. But you know, you guys are with me on the main idea of pawn shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like a full-fledged sequel.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going for. A sequel.
That's
That's a real deal sequel.
You gotta make that happen.
Yeah, mine was more of a remake. Yeah, yours is a straight up sequel. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna like sequel it, you gotta keep it within the canon and be like, oh yeah, this was from the fucking mall.
No, it's honestly the way you do it. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Is have like an old, old robot from the old one, and so you play with the retro shit too. Yeah, that'd actually be really fun.
Yeah, I like that.
He could go to like a Comic-Con and roll around. Everyone thinks, "Oh, cool costume!" Start shooting people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Beautiful, dude. The idea they could just because it's Las Vegas, they got all them.
Yeah, they got all sorts of shit. Look at this robot.
There would be a very funny scene with the robot goes to like the bunny ranch, and it's like. And it suddenly sounds like the short circuit robot. It's like Oscar,
boobies.
Oscar,
alive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ryan, how about you? Do you have anything?
Yeah. Well, those are.
I mean, that's hard to follow up, but
I know. Well, especially because Tony nailed it in the sense that I was going to do. I see a remake, in the mix, But I was like, all right, but the mall was where in the 80s, man, you hung out at the mall. Yeah. So I was like, all right, so you just do it at another location. But ironically, my idea was like, well, let's do it like in a freaking warehouse.
Yeah.
With and Tony nailed that. I didn't think Amazon. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But so we can kind of spitball this. But and you guys can help me out then. So where is the place that we all everyone's all the kids hang out now, it's not really the mall anymore, it's
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Virus.
I'm telling you, as a teacher, I don't even know where the kids hang out because they don't fucking hang out anymore. They're just,
you could do it in a school, but that's a little, shooting up a school, but it's robots. It's robots, it's lasers.
Well, if you want to touch upon that layer of like, oh man, this could happen. Shit, at our school we have a huge machine that drives around, like literally drives around. It's massive. It's an air purifier. It drives around massive.
Really?
I've often thought like, man, that's not good. That's
it. You just fell into it right there. We got these new machines at the school. They're supposed to purify the air and
security bots
and make sure kids aren't skipping class. And then lightning strikes the school, and all of a sudden, you got killer bots. Now it just happens to be the same night as the junior prom lock-in. So now
the lock-in.
Yeah, so now you got them all locked in.
Oh yeah,
bad weather storm. We got a bad storm coming. We got we got just
snowed in.
Already,
it's the same thing. Like lightning strikes 7 or 8
DJ
times.
The DJ bot.
lightning strikes an 8th time, right? Because it happens so many times over there.
Yes.
8 times. Yeah, because we didn't learn our lesson. Chopping Mall tried to teach us.
You could call it Chopping Hall. Chopping Hall.
Yeah, Chopping Hall. There you go.
And it'd be like, where's your hall pass?
Where's your hall pass? Yeah, exactly. Where's your hall pass? And you have to scan it right in the face.
Yeah, seriously, it's literally it's a hall monitor. It's a hall monitor, man.
Yeah, Chopping Hall monitor.
or like Bloody Hall, like Study Hall, Bloody Hall.
Oh,
yeah,
there
exactly.
you go. Bloody Hall.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ryan, since in Chopping Mall, like I mentioned earlier, they don't have like a robot voice. It's like more of like a grizzly throat kind of thing. Since you're a metal scener, you could be the voice of the robots.
Man, I would love to do that. I could follow in the footsteps of like like Mike Patton, who does like all these great sound effects for movies. You know, he did the I Am Legend monsters and all that kind of crap. Right?
That's right.
But,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll gladly put that on my resume as yeah. I did so I'm Single Heart as a Queen, but I did the voice of Shopping Hall.
Yes.
You know
what? You know what, guys? Actually, I just looked it up earlier. I said that the director did the voice of the robot. That I was wrong. I'm sorry about that. I got to go back on that. It was actually Stephen Hawking.
No, that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit.
That's wrong.
I'm looking right here, and I'm on IMDb. It was Stephen Hawking. They brought him in studio. He just happened to be in LA for a conference at the time. They brought him into studio, had him record. They put a microphone,
and we're done with him.
I resent that.
I wasn't even going to entertain looking that up. There's no way. It's impossible. It's impossible. No way.
Okay. That's the one thing I said today. That's a lie. That's the one thing I said so far. That's a lie. That's the only thing. That's all you get.
All right.
All right.
Well, all right. So we'll go on to mine now. And mine. Okay. So let's. So mine is a direct sequel. It takes place immediately after this one finished. Now let's rewind the clocks back a little bit, and we got the I think Mike is his name, the douchebag with the douchebag face.
Yeah.
So he's buying the cigarettes, and the robot comes up to him like, "Present ID badge, please," and he's just like. He shows it to him, but then he says a phrase. Does anybody remember the phrase that he said?
I just watched this. No.
To the robot itself?
I watched this hours ago. Okay. I can't remember.
Okay, I know what he said. He says, "Fuck the fuchsia, it's Friday."
No, he said.
No, that was earlier. That was earlier in the movie. Sorry.
I remember that one.
Fuck the fuchsia, it's Friday. That should be said. What did he say?
He quoted. Well, actually, this movie hadn't even come out yet, but he did what he said was a phrase that is very popular in the movie Army of Darkness.
Oh wow!
Oh what? Yeah, he said, "Give me some sugar." Well, that's right. Didn't he say something like that?
It wasn't. He definitely didn't say, "I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of gum," because he definitely was not out of gum.
Yeah, wait, what are you talking about? I don't remember any bit from Army of Darkness.
Yeah, he said,
he said, "Get ready for a fistful of boomstick." I remember that part. I remember that part.
He said the thing that raises the dead. I'm trying to look it up.
No, you're talking about Klaatu Verata Nikto. That's not from Army of Darkness.
No, that's the phrase he says.
That is from Army of Darkness, but that is actually from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But they say it in Army of Darkness. And what happens in Army of Darkness when he says that?
He raises the dead.
He raises the dead. So.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Okay. Wait. The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is based upon the novel They Came from Outer Space, which is the book that the second scientist is reading before he gets murdered.
Damn.
Solved it.
Mind blown.
Solved it.
So anyway, he says this and unknowingly creates a spell. So anyway, the rest of the movie resumes as it happened, and so this sequel that takes place immediately after. So now they've destroyed the killer robots, but now all their friends rise up as corpses, and now they have to go up against their own best friends, and so I guess Ash shows up and he says some things, but it's a work in progress. But yeah,
so you should go full on sequel where, like, you know, Ferdy and was it Allison? Is that who made it in the end?
Yeah, Allie, right? Yeah, Allison.
Yeah.
Allie,
that's her name. That's her name.
So like they
make it in. Yeah. They
come back to them all 30 years later, you know?
No. This is like
they'd be in my movie too. They'd They'd like show up as customers and be like, "Oh my god, the robot!" You know.
You have to
get out.
The crazy person who like they're all like, whatever you say, Grandpa, or something like that. Yeah. But and, you know, my idea is that this is immediately after. You know, this is that they just because the movie ends with they kill their last robot, then they embrace each other and they kiss. blah blah blah. Even though that guy did nothing to help anybody.
Which by the way, he's like, not even does he do nothing. He's like, hey, put the toilet paper in the back. So he had time to get toilet paper when she just torched like it was almost dead.
He was hiding. Yeah. You know he was hiding and waiting. He was like, "Oh shit, she's about to die."
I gotta go.
Because I don't know how accurate I am. I don't know how accurate I am. You got to help me, but I don't even know if he was on he was on the second level. I don't think it's where he even got hurt. So you might have like gone up and like gotta find something for my head.
No. Actually, no, that was the one because she jumped to the bottom.
Oh yes, because she fell down. Yeah, okay, cool. He still had time. He still had time to go find something.
Yeah, exactly. Like
fighting for a life.
So, anyways, all their dead friends rise up from the grave, and they have to fight them. So it's basically like chopping them all zombies. Or now there's that, or is Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, okay. So is it that it would be like? Would it be robots and zombies?
No, it's just Dawn of the Dead.
Or maybe at the end of the movie, they're like, oh man, we're so fucked. What are we going to do? And then the nerd's like, I know how to rewire these robots. And then he starts rewiring the robots and he fixes them. And then they kill all the robots or they kill all the zombies. And so
I like that, but it would give him a purpose, which he obviously does not have.
Have her do it.
Have her. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Hey, isn't her dad her dad's the Marine, right?
Yeah.
He taught her how to shoot and
I can solder
and make Molotovs out of gas cans, which apparently works.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget she had those amazing paint can opening skills.
That's what I was gonna say. You were talking about the subversive stuff earlier. That actually is like truly subversive. That is some like Ripley kind of shit where she literally is like,
she's blink.
The scene's coming after her, and she's pop.
Where she takes a screwdriver off the wall and like opens up a pre-opened can of paint. Like that.
Like she barely like touches it.
Yeah.
Like everything she barely touches,
and I don't claim to be
destroys itself. Like you know what I'm saying?
I've never been like accused of being a handyman, but I can't ever get a paint a fucking can't. No. I'm always like, God damn it!
You got
let me ask you something.
Things,
around the edge, you know?
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Have you ever like put a sweater over your head and right into a glass wall and then have it just like shatter immediately?
I just love.
No, because my dad is not a Marine.
Maybe that's Marine shit.
Also, have you ever laid down? Yeah. Have you ever laid down and hid underneath like a very poorly placed bag or something? With snakes
with tarantulas
and tarantulas crawling all over you and shit.
She handled that pretty well.
Guess what? There were supposed to be scorpions in that scene as well. There were supposed to be scorpions. The day they're filming the
that would actually be deadly.
She comes up to the director. She looks over there. She says, "Oh, is that what I'm going to be playing with today?" And he goes, "Yep." And she goes, "All right. If you can have them crawl on you, then I'll do it too." That's what the actress said, right? He goes, all right. He does the snakes. He's like, no big deal doing the snakes. He does the tarantula. He's like, okay, a little freaky, but I'm doing the tarantulas. And he sees the scorpion. He's like, fuck that scorpion. All right, you only got to do the snake and the tarantulas.
Yeah.
So if the director
move right there.
Yeah, but if the director could only have just pulled the chutzpahs to get him some scorpions on him, that shit would have been dope. She would have been all right, man.
I would have been like, oh yeah. Ugh.
I mean, what? Yeah. I mean, dude, it's not like you're gonna die from a scorpion sting. And if it even happened to sting her on the scene, how badass of a scene would that be? Oh shit, you got stung by a real scorpion in this scene. That shit is that's Oscar worthy.
She'd have got the Oscar, dude. That's what I was about to say. She would have got the Oscar.
Naturally, best actor before they said the actress and actress, best actor all across.
Well, she didn't do a bad job. She was probably the best one out of everybody there.
Yeah,
she
except for the
best,
janitor, of course, because he's
besides Dick Miller, she had the best pedigree for sure. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, a pro.
Let's go ahead and rate this thing. So, Tony, you've done it before. The other two, y'all, this is your first time here. Although, Ian, you've been on the old podcast, so you know.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah. So Tony, we'll start with you. How do you rate this and your overall thoughts?
Oh man. Overall, I mean, yeah, I just it's like you were saying earlier, Ryan. It's like so it's not all the way typical. It's got a lot. It subverts some expectations. It's got it's got a really goofy, fun premise. It's really fast, so even if you are bored by it, it's like done. And I just think it's just really funny, both intentionally and not intentionally, a lot of times. And yeah, the robot's fucking hilarious. But I just love a good and I just one of the best head explosions. I put it in my top 5. Horror head explosions. That's not better than Scanners, but it's good. Yeah, it's not Tom Savini one either, but it's good. It's not Maniac, but it's good. But
wait. Oh, wait. No, never mind. No, go ahead. For a second, I thought Tom Savini was in this, but no.
You're like, wait a minute. Yeah. But no.
It would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah. Dawn of the Dead, other head explosion, really good. But anyway, I have so much fun with this movie. It's got some bits I grabbed for it, but it's so much fun. It's such a good movie to get fucked up and watch with your friends and just have a good time and gratuitous nudity and head explosions. So yeah, I would give it like a solid 8.5 heads exploding when you shoot them with a laser beam.
All right, cool. Right on. I'm sure that's probably the same thing everybody was probably going to go
I know. I'm so glad you picked me first.
But Ian, how about you?
Well, like I've said previously, this is a great homage to the classic 1950s sci-fi films. And like I displayed before, it's probably the last official movie in the Walter Paisley verse, which I think puts it on a mantle of its own. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not counting the TV movie from 1994. So I mean, when you look at it through that context, it really has a historic place in the world of science fiction and the world of horror, because it took that 1950s campy sci-fi style, which it doesn't quite age so well, and it attached it to the slasher flick, which everybody thought they were going to see when they purchased this, or when they rented it from the video store, from the name and from the cover of the tape. So it kind of blended those two worlds, the past and the present of the past, looking back on it, which is such a cool thing to see, because you can't really recreate that as much as we tried to do with our sequels and reboots. It really is a product of its time. It's so 80s, and it's so commemorative of the 50s, that it really draws it all together. And all I really want to say is it pulls the camp in too really hard. There's the scene where Walter Paisley, who's to me the star of this movie, gets tragically electrocuted way too early.
Clearly.
For real. Imagine how this movie would have ended. Sorry to interrupt, but imagine how this movie would have ended if he survived till the end.
I know.
Oh, he would be the
He'd just be talking shit to everybody.
Yeah, he should have shown up. He should have shown up with the shotgun in the last scene. But
in our remakes, he could still be very well alive. Right?
That's true.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe he just got knocked out.
Yeah. Walter Paisley's been dying since 1959. Okay, he can come back again. Yeah,
the movie opens up, he's just brushing himself off.
Yeah, he's the Mike Myers of that era. But what I got it with that same scene where he dies, right? Okay, he dies. He gets electrocuted. His body's laying on the ground, convulsing slightly, smoldering, smoking, even hard cut. Before the hard cut, right at the Mike, the asshole with the chewing gum, says, "Smoking's bad for your health."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that kind of is what really makes me appreciate a film like this. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to give it I'm gonna have to go 8 rollerblades out of 8 rollerblade wheels out of 10.
All right, sweet, awesome.
And now ask me why. Ask me why rollerblade.
Why?
Thanks for setting me up for that. Well, actually,
there was a skateboarder in the movie, but I don't remember a rollerblader.
Actually, you saw rollerblade wheels very many times in that movie. Every time you saw the robot, in fact, you saw multiple rollerblade wheels in the treads of the robot that were helping to support the aluminum metal frame and the fiberboard that robot was made out of. And they use rollerblade wheels for that. So that's the last piece of useless chopping mall trivia I'll leave you with. Cheers.
If it's chopping mall trivia, it's not useless, my friend.
It's gonna come in handy.
For real. Yeah. And Ryan, how about you? How are you gonna rate this?
All right, so this has a lot of nostalgia for me, and that's one of my criteria for movie, like because I have the movies that doom.
Yeah, that's so what you were saying earlier about nostalgia. Yeah.
So there's nostalgia involved. Not only was it something that scared me as a little kid, it's also one of the first movies I saw a boob in, so I'll never forget that.
Nice.
And then, and then as I got older and I watched it again, like I no longer was scared. This movie's hilarious, and so I would call that layered. And I think there's art involved. I actually like how quick it is. If this movie is any longer, it's going to be like, okay, you may not finish. I don't think I could sit down and watch this movie and not finish it, which is great. That's a good criteria. But I also have criteria for movies that doom, other than nostalgia, is it has to have blood, babes, and biceps, and it has all of those. And my own scoring system that I use for movies that doom is like the doom hand, the rocker hands.
Okay.
So it's always up to 5, but for you, I'm going to say this is going to go all the way to 10 rocker hands, and I'm throwing in a couple flaming propane cans too.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought this movie was very, very good. I love it. I love it. But if you also notice, every movie that I talk about, like on our Instagram page, always gets a top score. I never go any less.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's basically how it is on this podcast as well. I mean, we're talking about we're rating entertainment, not like actual,
so 10.
Like, comparing it to actual.
Hey, sweet. I'm sure we'll hit a movie I hate. I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure.
I want to do that at least. I do want to do that at least once.
We'll hit one. We're starting with some good ones. So,
but that's cool. Like I'm glad that you could join us on this and that I chose this one because like basically all the ones that you were talking about and the ones that you've been talking about. I don't have Instagram, but on your Facebook page and stuff and your album release party and everything, I was like, I think Chopping Mall would probably be a pretty good one. So
right in my wheelhouse, man. Right in my wheelhouse.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
As for myself, I mean, yeah, this is actually one of the earlier movies that got me into the so bad they're good genre. Apart from like Evil Dead 2 and Plan 9 from Outer Space and stuff like that. I saw this one on like Cinemax or some shit. Which funny another little funny trivia, which we have so much for this one, is that the director ended up doing a bunch of Skinemax movies. Later after like the early 2000s, he did like a bunch of like softcore porn parodies, like Hills Have Thighs.
Did he do the Bear Winch Project?
Yeah, he did the Bear Winch Project.
Are you sure? Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Wow,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and so anyway,
so we were all fans of Jim Warnowski without even knowing it.
Yeah,
exactly. So this is one of the ones that brought me into the movie so bad they're good genre that I've turned into not exactly a career but a huge hobby that will hopefully be a career in the future. If anybody wants to give me money for this, that would be cool. So
Blue Chew still hasn't returned my emails. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's an inside joke on having a beer with Ian. We like plugged the shit out of Blue Chew boner pills, and they have stopped emailing me back when I asked for money.
Wow.
They're
But-
lost, man. They're lost.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey,
They
leave it to the boner
It
pill.
must be hard to get a hold of.
Damn it! I was just about to do it. I was just about to do it. Well, you know what? At least they're not. At least they're probably too stiff. I don't know. You left me with the
They're a
second
bunch
best pun.
they're-
Fuck you.
They're a bunch
That-
of.
It's gonna have some stiff competition with Viagra. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
Honestly, between Blue Chew and Viagra, there's nothing vastly different about it.
That's a
Yeah.
stretch.
Hey, you know what else can stretch?
I was gonna say it's just some stretching.
Okay.
Excuse
Anyway, back to my rating of shopping mall.
Yeah.
How many dick pills out of what? Tell us.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like, yeah, so this is one of the, like I said, one of the ones that got me into the genre. But however, I hadn't seen it in 15 years, so it, like, very after a while turned into like, it was like that movie that I saw that was, but when I rewatched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. By the way, Tony, I showed this to Jake the other night, our mutual friend Jake.
Oh, how do you
And
like
we
it?
had so much fun, like,
Yeah.
making fun of it,
It's
ripping
such a-
on it and shit.
It's such a fun movie.
Yeah, so shout out to Jake. So I have to give it 9 times the other Ian has said a trivia fact that we are not sure if it is true or false.
All of them were true but one. All of them were true but one.
Right. All
I've
right,
learned so
well,
much.
that'll do for this episode of Cold Trash Horror Movie Grind. Thanks everybody for joining, and thanks everybody for listening. Ryan, what do you have to plug? Like, you got your album, you got your next album, you got like your summer crowd. Just what do you got?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Plug
yes.
Cobra.
just plug Cobra.
I'd rather
like-
just talk about Cobra the whole time. Yeah.
Everybody go see Cobra.
Yeah. Yeah. First and foremost, if you've not seen Cobra, do yourself a favor. Watch it and then watch it and then watch it again.
If
Yeah,
you
watch
missed
it again.
Rambo, Cobra is the cure.
Yeah. By the way, my growing up, my brother had the poster of that cover poster, and I
Oh,
never
nice.
think it was the coolest thing ever. But it was,
Yeah.
crime
pretty
is the
cool, yeah.
disease, and he's the cure. Man,
I'm the
coolest
cure.
coolest thing ever. Coolest thing ever.
Both,
Tell me,
He
tell me that
literally
doesn't look like a
blows away,
tiny
like-
backwards cigarette.
Yeah.
both
He literally
and both
blows
of those
away, like,
characters,
80 people.
and both of those characters are in his band. So,
Wow.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
so if you like Cobra,
Exactly,
you like
but-
Rambo, check out High Desert Queen, who don't have a single song that are about any of those movies,
No, we just like to incorporate it in some way, somehow, right? We just like
which
to-
I appreciate.
now we
It's
do
like,
have some. I have some Dune references.
That's dope.
Yeah, we have some Dune references and some Mulholland Drive. I'm a huge David Lynch fan. Y'all were mentioning Lynch earlier. And I start getting
Lovely,
excited.
yeah.
You know,
Mulholland
Yeah,
Drive
but,
is like on my like top 5 movies of all time.
That's great.
Mulholland Drive, a road
Yeah, I've got
in,
some
in-
Mulholland
in
Drive references
California,
on the
another
next
road in
topic.
California, Hollywood Boulevard, which is the title of a movie released in 1976, starring Dick Miller as who? Walter Paisley
Paisley.
in the episode. It's done.
It's done. He's out, ladies and gentlemen.
I like how he
This
just
guy's a
froze on it
machine,
walking
man.
away.
He froze walking out.
yeah. I know.
All right.
That's awesome. But only thing I will say is that we have another album coming out, but that's going to be a while because we got this one we
Right.
have out right now. But we're gonna by the time this comes out, we should have some music videos out.
Oh.
But one of them for Did She that we filmed at the Movies That Doom release show. We're doing, and this is a little spoiler. It's not going to be a spoiler alert because it'll probably be out by then. But we play a game that I've created called the Movies That Doom drinking game. And it
okay.
is, I mean, it's something I'm sure we've all done. I just gave it rules, where like I used to watch like my college buddies, we'd watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and every time someone died, oh, drink, he does a
Yeah.
one-liner, oh, take a shot, oh, he just blew 3 people away and a one-liner, that's a shotgun. And so we would do all this stuff, right? And the rules are that the last person standing who does not, because if you throw up, you're out. If you pass out, you're out. And so as the last one standing, we watch as many movies as possible. And I'm saying, like, at some point, if you guys are up for it, I say we have, if you ever do a chance to invite me back on, we do some kind of Movies That Doom drinking game.
I mean,
And we can go all out.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
definitely
Yeah,
do.
I'll definitely. Yeah,
I will lose.
I'm down right now.
And I'm not saying I'm gonna win this thing.
We're all
'cause
winners.
I've been in the game because I don't exactly. Everybody wins. That's the
Everybody
true
wins.
part of the game. It's a true 80s lesson, right? That everybody wins if you do the right thing. If you follow the rules and movies that do drinking game, you're gonna succeed in life. So
yeah. No, absolutely. I'll talk to you about that.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I enjoyed talking to you guys.
Glad to hear it, man.
Ditto.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So everybody, check out High Desert Queen. Like, if you're into like that more slower tempo, heavy metal, actually, like you kind of transcend all genres. I'd say. Like, I mean,
we just call ourselves hard rock because we've got slow and fast, and it's just we just write what we feel like sounds good.
Because you have some songs are like kind of that like hard rock or alternative kind of thing, and then you have like my favorite song is Skyscraper, which has that super heavy but slow, just dun, dun,
our drummer always goes, all right, I'm gonna play this slow, and when you think I'm playing it slow, I'm gonna play it slower. Dude, that's how I always do it now. And
speaking of which, like the drums on that track are fucking killer.
He's an absolute beast. We're very lucky to have that guy. He's a monster on the drums, absolute monster. So
I mean that's what like actually that's kind of what appealed to me when I first saw y'all at the Mothership show. Was like I walked in because I showed up late, and when I walked in, y'all were actually playing. And I think it was probably the first episode, and like he was on like a stage of his own. He was the only one on the stage,
exactly.
And the rest of y'all were on the floor with the audience, but like he was on top, and he was just like having the time of his life. And then what I thought was kind of funny, like it was. I mean, it wasn't that great, but I kind of laughed at it. Like the sound guy forgot to turn on your mic, so when you started singing. There was like nothing.
Yeah, I saw the video. I saw the video later. I just he was like he felt so bad. Man, I'm so sorry. And I go, no, man, you probably did me a favor. I probably hit a bad note. You saved me or something. Whatever.
It's supposed to happen.
But yeah, exactly. It was all part of the show, man.
Y'all fucking rocked.
Our drummer is worth the price. He's worth the price of admission. He's fun.
I'll agree with that.
But
also,
him.
Like you've got some great stage presence yourself. Like when you're not seating, you jump into the crowd and you're like rocking with the crowd, or like you go up to the band members and it's like you're hearing them for the first time in your life. You're like, man, this is fucking good.
half the time I don't even know what I'm doing on stage. I get lost, and that's the best part about it.
Yeah, that's the way to do
that. Hey, be careful. That's how Randy Blythe from Lamb of God got arrested in Croatia.
Okay. All right.
Watch out. You got to kind of be aware of what you're doing up there. Don't go killing any children.
Stage, I got lost.
Hey,
anyway,
he was cleared. Okay,
he was cleared of all charges. Okay, all right.
Quit it.
They let him out. Okay.
That's how I know. That's how, and right there, that's how I know that those kids all would have been sued by the fucking mall.
Yep,
that mall would have been fine.
Yeah, the mall was in Croatia.
Well, anyway, check out High Desert Queen, their album. I'm
Secrets of the Black Moon.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Ian, do you want to talk about having a beer with Ian, or we already talked about it?
Yeah, maybe we'll have a beer again some other time. Right now I'm just trying to hold life. You ever try to hold a snake by the tail and it just keeps trying to come back up and bite your hand or your arm or something? That's how I'm holding on how I'm holding on to life right now, and it can make it hard to do any kind of thing that's outside of the realm of just staying alive. But man, this is very enjoyable. I really had a good time with you guys, chatting up one of these classics. I look forward to doing it again sometime whenever our paths may cross.
Yeah, if you want to hear more from him and me, check out our other podcast, Having a Beer with Ian, with the other Ians as well. Actually, Ryan, you know the band The Well, right? I mean,
course, yeah.
I watched you open for them, so I'd hope.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, go check out that episode that we did with Ian from the Well.
Yeah, Tony
It was
knows the Well too.
that was a good one. That was a good one
got
for
Ian
sure.
from the Well onto our podcast, and we had a pretty fun chat.
Oh, badass! That's awesome. They're good people, man. I mean, Ian's are obviously good people, but the Well people are good people.
They're great. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, the Well's bad. Check out the Well. They're fucking dope.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Tony,
Man, if you got that guy, let me just say before you do that, if you got that guy around a campfire, he'd be eating spores, not s'mores. You know why? Because he's a fun guy.
Oh.
I should just said this like right there.
It's everyone listening is blowing their brains out by now, I think.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we got to give an award for if there's anybody still listening right now.
The Fun Masters.
This is probably our longest episode we've done so far.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So I want to thank my wife for still listening.
Has she been listening?
Yeah, she will. She will be listening. She'll be listening.
Oh, it will be. Yeah,
in that case, I'd like to thank Ryan's wife as well.
Thanks to my cat. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, Tony, your brother. We mentioned.
I plugs. Yes. So this is going to be in February or March. Hopefully, the movie I just did will be out on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive called Sorry About the Demon. If it's not out when this is out, then it should be out soon. So go see it. I don't get any money if you see it, but people I really like do. So go see it. And I think I do the voice of a demon in it, so it's fucking rad. And go watch my other movies on any streaming service you can find them on. Some of them are really hard to find. And my brother, I don't really need to plug because he's doing way better than I am, but he is doing his awesome Stephen King podcast called The King Cast. If you like horror movies, go listen to that. It's like one of the top rated podcasts in the country right now. It's fucking crazy.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. I don't need to plug him. He should be plugging me. But yeah, he does. He's got a lot of famous people. He just had Guillermo del Toro on to do an episode about it. Yeah, so he's
that's cool.
Go listen to that. It's not visual, but go listen to that podcast. It's really cool if you like Stephen King and horror.
That's
stuff.
Cool. Absolutely.
Awesome. Sweet. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Again, Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Love you guys. Love being here, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next show. And so that'll do it. So have a good one, everybody. And
salute everybody.